You know the exact millisecond your face shifts. It is a reflex now, a muscle memory buried deep in the architecture of your survival. You walk into a room, and before you even register the faces of the people standing there, your mouth curls into that familiar, polished curve. It is not a smile, it is a shield. It is a social tax you pay in full every single day to ensure that no one ever asks you how you are actually doing. Because if they did, the entire house of cards would collapse, and you have neither the energy to rebuild it nor the desire to explain why it fell in the first place. You are the architect of your own isolation, trapped behind a vibrant, articulate mask that speaks for you, laughs for you, and nods for you, while the real you, the exhausted, hollow version, sits in the dark corner of your own mind, watching the spectacle with a detached, aching silence. You feel like a ghost inhabiting a mannequin, perfectly calibrated to mimic human warmth, yet utterly incapable of feeling the heat of the fire you are standing next to. The exhaustion is not physical, it is a profound, marrow-deep erosion of the self. By mid-afternoon, your brain feels like a server running 100 heavy programs at once, all of them fighting for resources that simply do not exist. Every conversation feels like a high-stakes performance where the script is written in a language you no longer speak fluently. You listen to the hum of chatter around you, colleagues discussing weekend plans, friends dissecting trivial dramas, and you contribute your lines right on cue. "That is so interesting," you say. "I totally agree," you chime in, your timing impeccable. But inside, your internal monologue is a frantic, looping tape of existential fatigue. You are overthinking the cadence of your own voice, wondering if your laugh sounded too shrill, if your eyes looked too glazed, if the mask is slipping just enough for them to see the void underneath. It is a relentless, quiet labor. You are performing your own existence, and the weight of that performance is crushing the spontaneity out of your soul. You walk through the world like a diver underwater, seeing everything through a distorted, muted lens, hearing the muffled echoes of life while your oxygen tank is dangerously low. There is a specific kind of violence in being forced to be on when you are fundamentally off. It is the violence of social expectation. You curate your persona to be the listener, the witty commentator, the reliable friend, and in doing so, you slowly excise the parts of yourself that do not fit the mold. The parts of you that are sad, angry, messy, or simply tired are locked away in a soundproof cellar. You fear that if you ever let the mask drop, the people who love your performance will recoil at the reality of your stillness. So, you keep up the facade. You go home after a long day of connecting with others, and the moment you lock your door, the collapse begins. It is not a dramatic event, it is a slow, silent surrender. You drop your bag, you stare at the wall, and the silence that fills the room is heavier than the noise you just escaped. You realize that you have spent 12 hours being someone else for the benefit of everyone else, and now, there is nothing left for you. The mirror does not reflect a person anymore, it reflects a set of habits. You try to remember what you actually like, what makes you laugh when no one is watching, but the memories feel like they belong to a stranger. You have become an expert at blending in, at being the perfect social lubricant, but you have lost the ability to be present in your own skin. Sometimes, you catch your reflection in a shop window and for a fleeting moment, you do not recognize the person looking back. The eyes are bright, the posture is poised, the expression is engaging, it is a masterful work of art. And you hate it. You hate how easily you can fool everyone, including yourself, into believing that you are thriving. This duality is a form of self-betrayal that stings more than any external criticism ever could. You are trapped in a feedback loop where the more you hide, the more isolated you feel, and the more isolated you feel, the more you retreat behind the mask to protect the little that remains. It is a slow-motion vanishing act. You are slowly erasing yourself from your own life, pixel by pixel, conversation by conversation. The dread of the next social interaction starts creeping in even as you are currently in one. You are living in the future of your next performance, calculating how many hours of energy you need to sustain the lie, how much coffee you need to fuel the artifice. There is no joy in the connection because there is no you present to experience it. You are simply a witness to your own social survival. The realization is not a lightning bolt, it is a cold, slow leak in a boat that you are already sinking in. You realize that you have spent so much time curating a version of yourself that is palatable to the world that you have become a stranger to your own heartbeat. You are not lonely because you are alone, you are lonely because you are not known, and you are not known because you have built a labyrinth of smiles, clever remarks, and performative interests specifically designed to keep everyone at a safe, superficial distance. You have traded intimacy for safety, and now the safety feels like a cage. You are staring at the truth. The mask is not protecting you from the world, it is protecting the world from the truth of your exhaustion. And the most terrifying part is that you are not sure if you still have the strength to take it off, or if, beneath the layers of performance, there is anything left worth revealing. You are floating in a sea of your own making, waiting for a storm that never comes, hoping for a silence that is finally your own, yet terrified that if the music stops, you will find out you have nothing left to say. The loudest laughter hides the deepest ache. The brightest mask holds the darkest ghost.